like to extend my thanks to the Honourable Member for Huddersfield for bringing this debate forward. As we've heard today, we do not own the seas, we are simply caretakers of them. And it's important that we bequeath a rich and healthy marine environmental legacy to future generations, and to do so to the best of our ability. And some progress has been made. The UK Government and the Scottish Governments are working together, as we've heard earlier on, to deliver on a commitment to implement a ban on microbeads in personal care products to tackle the scourge of microbead pollution. Marine protected areas have now been established in waters around the United Kingdom, with the Scottish Marine Protected Network covering around 20% of the seas around Scotland. And these protected areas are very important, since this means that any proposed development or use of these areas will have to take into account the need for recovery. Scotland's seas are a vast and rich natural resource, and it's our sacred duty to keep them healthy and protect them for current and future generations. Much of our coastline and surrounding seas are globally important habitats for many bird species, providing food, a place to rear young and winter refuge. And the future of our marine environment must be sustainable for our precious yet vulnerable marine habitat. The Natural Marine Plan in Scotland was adopted in March 2015 and provides a framework for consistent decision-making that takes account of the marine environment. Work is now ongoing to implement marine planning on a regional scale. Marine protected areas provide that additional protection to important locations in our seas, and the network covers 20% of our marine area. The Marine Protected Area Monitoring Strategy monitors and surveys some of Scotland's most vulnerable marine habitats and ensures that detailed information is collected from the Marine Protected Area Network to create a more accurate picture of the health of marine environments. And in addition, the Scottish Government launched Scotland's first ever marine litter strategy for Scotland, which details almost 40 new actions to minimise coastal and marine litter. Yet, the challenges we face are ongoing. The fish farming industry has admitted that it has to discard significant numbers of its stock because of disease. And some are now calling for a shift to a closed containment system that would protect the fish and the marine environment. The same demand has been made by the Wild Fish Campaign Group, Salmon and Trout Conservation Scotland, and this seems to me to, at the very least, be worth examining. Fish and shellfish farming contribute £620 million to the Scottish economy every year, supporting more than 12,000 jobs. So we have a duty to protect Scotland's marine environment, and the health and welfare of farmed fish is of the utmost importance to this industry. And the Scottish Government is committed to working with the aquaculture sector to develop a strategic health framework that ensures we make progress in tackling major problems, including emerging disease. And this is essential for the future and sustainability of our marine environment. There's also concern about the need to protect vulnerable habitats from scallop dredging. Indeed, an investigation by the Scottish Government and Scottish Natural Heritage into claims that the vulnerable habitat in Loch Carron has been damaged by scallop dredging has confirmed that damage to the flame shell beds was consistent with the impact of scallop dredging. Subsequently, the endangered seabed habitat of the North West Coast was designated as a marine protected area by the Environment Secretary Rosanna Cunningham MSP. The investigation carried out found that there was a viable prospect of recovery because part of the bed had survived and another bed had, thankfully, remained intact. And it is right, and I mention this to the House today because it is right that such matters are investigated comprehensively and all options are considered to mitigate against such occurrence in the future in the light of the damage and the marine devastation it can cause. But the marine environment, of course, doesn't recognise borders or boundaries, and I believe it is essential that all governments across the United Kingdom work together cooperatively to ensure that the health and sustainability of our waters and marine life is secured. Our marine environment is extremely important. We must, of course, be able to enjoy the benefits the sea offers to us, but we must also respect the need for sustainable use. We owe that to future generations.
Bennion.